Hello. Good evening, ladies. My name is Justin Richardson. Biology 260, section 73. So this is my assignment, part one. And starting with the first question. First question says, what do you think is the most effective exercise that benefits the brain? I think the most effective exercise that benefits the brain is playing cards and reading. And the second question is, give us a breakdown of how the brain will use that activity. Which part of the brain will use it and why? So cards. I say with cards, which part of the brain will use it? Oh, a breakdown how the brain will use the activity. So for cards, I said that you'll see colors and numbers and symbols, and you'll be able to make the association. You'll start grouping those things together, correlating those pieces together. And then also mathematics. You'll be using simple mathematics, like such as multiplying, dividing, adding and subtracting. Not dividing, I don't know why. Not dividing, but most definitely, and not multiplying, but definitely adding and subtracting. What else? Comprehending the value of the letters, of the lettered cards. Memorization, being able to remember cards, and so just a bunch of things happening all at once, like correlating and associating things all together. The second thing would be reading. For reading, I said that the brain, how the brain would use that activity would be that the person would see words, familiar and unfamiliar words, and you would again make those associations, and you can make those associations with like feelings and emotions and things. Also with reading and comprehension would be another way that the brain would use that activity. So the second part of that question, which part of the brain will use it and why? So for playing cards, the part of the brain that will be utilized would be the occipital lobe. This is where your vision dominates and comes in, where you see things and you make that association. Also the frontal lobe. Occipital is back here, and the frontal lobe. The frontal lobe is here. This is where your problem solving comes into play. It helps plan out movement and organize those movements and patterns. Which part of the brain uses it? Oh, and the why part of cards. It decreases your risk for dementia and Alzheimer's. Memorizing the cards keeps your memory sharp, and keeps you engaged, and it protects your brain cells. Also, it helps you retain basic mathematics skills. And for reading. Reading also would be your frontal lobe. And as we said, the frontal lobe helps you with interpretation, problem solvings, and organizing movements, patterns. Also, when reading jolts your brain into action, and it helps you to maintain concentration so you can interpret and comprehend what you're reading, and so you're processing the events that you're reading. And finally, the last question is, if you were a caregiver for senior citizens, what exercises would you teach them to better their ability for memory? And it just goes back to my two topics that examples that I use, playing cards and reading. I think those will be two good examples and two skills to use to help utilize and maintain your cognitive function. And for the reading, I said I would suggest reading simple books and going to more complex books. Alrighty, and this is my extra credit assignment. Lauren, I wish you well. Good luck with everything. Take care.